Fairly long run to the first, and they're off. The TrustATrader Top Novices Hurdle, 9 flights in front of them, and Lookaway is leading Personal Ambition towards the first, with Firefox on the outside. The favourite Mystical Power in the hood is racing in 4th position, with Lump Sum and Mr. GIF at the back as they continue on the turn towards home for the first time, and it is Lookaway, the best turned out winner and winner of the big bumper at this meeting 2 years ago. He's in front of Personal Ambition in second as they now get very close to flight number 1. Firefox is in third. This is the first Lookaway, Personal Ambition, Firefox, Mystical Power, and then Lump Sum, and a little bit cautious at the back was Mr. GIF as they run towards the second. And Lookaway just led over that to Personal Ambition in second place, with Firefox and Jack Kennedy in third position. And Firefox is a couple of lengths up over Mystical Power, the runner-up in the Supreme Novice. And they now jump what will be the last next time around, and a beautiful leap there by the leader Lookaway. In third position, Firefox, ahead of Mystical Power. Lump Sum, the Dovecote winner, is in 5th place, and Mr. GIF is last of all. Paul Townend in no hurry at all on him. So only a half length separate the front two, Lookaway and Personal Ambition. They have 1 circuit to go, and sitting 2.5 lengths off them is Firefox, who's a couple up on Mystical Power in 4th place. JP McManus colours have been carried to victory in this race by some star names down the years. John Bon, Bouverdere, My Tent or Yours, Darlan Strawbear, to name a handful of them. Mystical Power is in 4th place, carrying them today ahead of Lump Sum in 5th, and Mr. GIF is last of all, as the field now enter the back straight and run towards the 4th, and it is Lookaway. Lookaway pressing on by a couple of lengths to Personal Ambition in second. Lookaway, Personal Ambition. Lump Sum made a slight mistake at that one, lost a little bit of ground as they head to the middle hurdle in the back, and Lookaway is pressing on now and has opened up by 3.5 under Jack Quinlan to Personal Ambition in 2nd place, and then Firefox. Lookaway's good jumps like that will stand him in good stead. Another slightly untidy one from Lump Sum as they head towards flight number 6. Lookaway by 5 to Personal Ambition and Keelan Woods in 2nd place, then Firefox and Mystical Power ahead of the now 5th place Mr. GIF, who has made some ground, having been put to sleep early in the race, is now starting to get a bit more competitive, and Lump Sum is in last as they come to the end of their first circuit in the TrustATrader Top Novices Hurdle, and starting the long run towards home. Lookaway not quite so far in front now, is just over a length up on Personal Ambition, still followed by Firefox and Mystical Power and Mark Walsh, and then Mr. GIF and Lump Sum and Sam Twiston-Davies in 6th place, about to turn for home. Lookaway, Personal Ambition, they're still 1 and 2, a long way left to go. They've opened up by 2.5 to 3 over Firefox, and then Mystical Power, Mr. GIF, and lastly Lump Sum. Straightening up then and heading to 3 out and asking for more, Jack Quinlan on Lookaway. Personal Ambition the outside, Firefox, Mystical Power in behind. Over 3 out, Lookaway led Personal Ambition. Mystical Power is sauntering close and now just gets a flick down the shoulder. Then Firefox heading to the second last, a challenger on either side of Lookaway now. Lookaway jumped it well, but he's swamped by Firefox, Mystical Power, and these two now press on. Lump Sum is trying to stay on as they head towards the 9th and final flight, and Mystical Power is just getting on top of Firefox, running to the final flight. Mystical Power over, about a length clear of Firefox. Lump Sum running on into 3rd, then Lookaway. Mystical Power with a length advantage here. Firefox is still trying the near side. Mystical Power holding him at the moment, but here's Firefox for one final lunge. Mystical Power to Firefox, they run close to the finish, and Mystical Power holds on to confirm the supreme form and win the Top Novice. Mystical Power the winner, 2nd Firefox, clear of Lookaway, who ran with great credit ahead of Mr. GIF. Lumps.
Willie Mullins has just won the Top Novices Hurdle with Mystical Power, and he was just telling me about the lucky tie as well. Tell the story.
Yeah, no, I forgot all my ties, so I ran into Ronnie Bartlett's room yesterday morning and raided his wardrobe. So I don't think he's getting it back.
Because it's lucky now.
Although David Casey said it must be one he was giving away anyway. So.
Well, it looks lovely. It looks lovely. It also looks better after a win there. A good performance from Mystical Power. Probably the closing stages didn't work out ideally for Mark.
Yeah, he saw Jack going to close the door, so he had to make his move sooner than he wanted. But given the horse is due, he when he got to the front, he stayed going. I was a bit afraid after the way he was beaten in Cheltenham. Even though he didn't stop in Cheltenham, he was, thank God it wasn't a hill there. I thought the flat finish probably suited him a little better, and he stuck it out to the end.
And tell me about the way in which you've campaigned him this season and why it sort of fell into that pattern.
Well, we just campaigned him as a nice novice hurdler, and he won. Where was it, in Dublin, I think it was, and then Cheltenham for the Supreme Novice.
I meant in the early stages. Sort of, what did you, when you the first son of Annie Power, you've got all of that back history.
No, he doesn't show us much at home.
Right.
We started off his maiden bumper in Ballinrobe. He surprised us by winning well, and then we went to Galway. I think ended up in Galway, and he won that well. Every time we raced him, he just got better, and he's still improving. And what I loved about him today was how he hurdled. He's a real professional hurdler. You barely see Mark coming off the ground. I think some of the hurdles he didn't. He just bent his knees and just straight out over the hurdle. He's just real professional hurdler, so he is. Compared to a novice chaser, big horse who might be jumping his hurdles, this fellow just hurdles them.
So this is a horse you'll be training as a champion hurdler next season, eventually?
I don't know. We have to think, is he good enough? We have to ask ourselves those questions. Certainly it wasn't part of my thinking at the start of the season anyhow, but he's come through, he's improving all the time, and possibly with the sort of flat speed he has, he might just make it. Yeah, but we'll have to have a look. First of all, it's probably a bit soon to go back to Punchestown, but we'll look at that novice hurdle and we'll see what's there. At the moment, I'd say he goes to Punchestown anyhow.
What you'd really like to see him over, surely, is ground that is not quite as testing as this, because the way he moves, he's going to love it, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. So we'll probably get that in Punchestown. I'm thinking forward. Would you get that the first day in Cheltenham for a champion hurdle? You probably won't. They'll always have soft in the ground.
Seems to be these days.
Well, it's safer. It's safer, but I know with his pedigree, you would think he would like really nice, fast ground.
And from a training perspective, is he anything like Annie Power?
No. He's a different model. I think he takes a lot from his father rather than his mother, so different type of model altogether. She used to show us everything on the gallop at home. This guy doesn't.
Which kind of surprises me, because he's quite high mettled, isn't he, when we see him at the track?
Yes, we probably keep our gallop a little softer than maybe what his action would like, and maybe that's why.
So he's starting to convince you that maybe he should be trained for the champion hurdle, in conclusion.
Yeah. It's we were discussing that here in the winners' enclosure, and it's a possibility. But has he got that spark of brilliance that can go past the likes of Stateman, Constitution Hill? I'm just not sure after his performance in Cheltenham this year. While it was very good, I'm wondering, would you want to be a lot better?
Okay. And would he make a chaser?
It's not the first thing that would strike you when you look at him. I've no doubt that he would make a fantastic novice chaser, but after that, then it might be tougher on him. Okay. And then you could go back to the flat with him, but I'm just wondering whether flat racing destroy his temperament. But we'll see.
Plenty to think about, isn't there? He's a conundrum.
Yeah, a nice problem to have. But a lot, Rich will have his thoughts. JP will have his thoughts. John Magner will have his thoughts. So three of them are involved in the horse. It was anyhow, there'll be a lot of thinking and talking done about that.
It's a good team to mull it over, I'd say. Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
Very much.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.